Hi, my name is Vyacheslav Titsyn and I want to show you my new Blender add-on Simply Wrap Pro. It's a new innovative add-on which will save you a lot of time during specified tasks like wrapping around your mesh or props or something like this. I just want to show you how it is working. I have here one character. I want to show you how on this character how this could work for you. If we install the Blender add-on Simply Wrap Pro just by the default way, edit preferences add-ons, you will get this UI in the Simply Add-ons tab. We select our collision mesh, this is the character here, and go to a good position where we can set the drawing of the wrap, and I show you how this is working. First of all, we just hit object for wrapping. This means this selected object will be the collision object for our wrap mesh or curve, like you want. Now we see new UI changes. It's start wrapping, it's starting here. We have the basic start drawing settings. We start in front or the back. We have a point count resolution during the wrap, a shrink curve after drawing. This I show later. We have a surface offset during the drawing and the path smoothing. This is smoothing out the path during the drawing process. Of course, we have this object collision settings area here. This is for the performance. I recommend to use this decimate for get a lower res of the collision mesh to get better performance during drawing. And the thickness outer, this is for later changes. I just start by hitting the start wrapping, and now we go to the model operator. It's the drawing process. We have at the bottom the UI which show us some shortcuts where we can use. Just if I draw the lines and then I want to generate curve or change the resolution, or perhaps locks the orientation, not switching anymore. If we hit enter, we generate this map and have the possibilities to change the size, twist and offset of the drawed mesh. I just start showing you how to use this add-on. We start at the front. If I click and drag, we see it's drawing on the front light. If I release the mouse button, we switch automatically to the back, and now we can just drag the back, draw the back side. And so we can continue and just play around how we can create very good wrapping around meshes in less than 1 minute if we are doing this fast. Here I show you how I hold Control and mouse scroll, so we have to increase the resolution, and now I hit enter. It's just for testing purposes. Now I just move the mouse to the right to increase the size, something like this. I click, go to the next step, the offset. Here we can change it, and now I click again, we go to the twist. In some cases it is useful, in this case I don't need this. And you see the full mesh because it's in front. It's in front here, but we don't we ignore this at the moment and just hit click and see what happened. The mesh is automatically wrapped around correctly and have a good overlapping at this moment. We see the thickness outer is too much, perhaps we can decrease it and select again the wrap mesh and play. Yes, this is okay for testing purposes. Of course, we have here the same feeling like Simply Close Pro add-on, which I created too, and we saved a lot of time doing a custom wrap during the process in creation curves. We don't need to wrap to return around the mesh every time. We can just draw it and it is do all automatically. In this case, I like to show you the past procession, which you can edit the wrap afterwards the creation of wrap. You can see, you can play with the width, you can add more thickness or less depending on what you need. And if I am happy with the base result, it's okay. Perhaps I can just increase the quality steps and try again and see what happens. I see it's too thick at this moment, but it's okay. I try this perhaps, and again there's a bit struggling, but it's not that bad for me. I can fix this very fast. I apply this rapid mesh and I get new UI options like cleaning up endings. This means it will clean up these and these endings of the wrap. I just slide this and you see what happened. And this is okay. Perhaps I can do it a bit more. Slowly I drag and slide. Yes. If I like this, I just go to the edit mode, select the endings, and I can close the endings with the bridge edge loops, which allows me not that good result, but it's okay. I can play with the smoothness. Yes, a bit more. And if it's okay, I can leave this at this point. I see some intersection here. We can see it in the edit mode. Here we can show. It's a better view for us to fix these points. I of course enabled the proportional editing, and now I fix very fast these parts. Perhaps here. We save a lot of time, really. I tested it out, and if you do it by the common way, just creating all the stuff by hand, it will explode the time and your nerves. Yes, I can just hit Alt S to scale it on the normals, like I understand, and something like this. And now I have very fast, good results. Of course, I describe you some stuff, how this is working, but I think you see the amount of time you can save here. And we see here some issues. Yes, we can smooth them out. Perhaps this is not so nice. I try this, go again and fix this. Of course we can do it in sculpt mode too with the smooth brush, but we see this first result was very fast. What we can do else is I hit Ctrl S for saving. Perhaps it can crash, we don't know. We go to the asset browser. It's only in Blender 3.0 available, and if we set up the path correctly in the file path section for Simply Wrap assets, we can easily select this here and go to the Simply Wrap assets. Now you see a bunch of cool stuff which I created with Daniel. It's one of a good friend of mine. And we see here matte and OBJs. That means we have here some presets like material, pre-made or objects which we can select and add this to our wrap. Of course I can disable this decimate for now, and we can go over to the rendering mode. Wait a bit, and I tried with some of the cool materials we created, like the leather. Of course we have to compute a bit here. We have a new view here, ambient occlusion. This is not what we want. We don't need combined, and you see the results. They are great. I like it. Here you see the materials, of course, are very good selected here. The leather or the synthetic quad mesh, which is good for backpacks or something else. We have a wool texture. Oh, it's created by me. It's not the best, but it's good for starting. If we have an enduring, we can just hit it here. Of course I can fix the character feeling to this, so we have a better feeling of the rendering. The next point I want to show you is how to use custom objects, and this is how we start. I select our character mesh and again go to the Simply Wrap Pro N panel and hit Start Wrapping. Here we can try something out. We start with the front. Go here, go there, and just play around a bit to see what we can achieve with this little of scribbling on viewport in Blender with the cool add-on. Something like this, it's okay. Hit enter. Play with the size if you want. Offset of course too. And twist and just see what happens. It's okay, there are some issues I see, but this is not important. I delete this mesh and select the curve. You see in the Simply Wrap Pro UI panel, Objects Curve, it's showing the current created curve, which allows us to play around with this. But for this point I want to show you how to use these objects. If we want a big chain around his body, we just select one of the chains like this, go to item, reposition it on the location to 0, 0, 0, and go to Simply Add-ons panel again, and you see here custom objects. Just hit the button, add selected object to wrap, and you see what is happening here. Very cool. We can play with the offset if we need, something like this. Here you see some issues happening. This is because of intersecting the body, but it's not that a big problem. We can play around like this. We can go to the curve. We select it, select the correct point. Something here. Here you see it's intersecting. Here. And then you get very fast cool results only with this pre-made meshes. If I don't like this and I want something like leather or arm chain, of course I can do it, but here I can easily select other mesh or buckles to get special results on it. This is how the asset browser works. Just drag and drop and see what happens. Of course, if we want this spike, this is very cool. I go again, hit to location 0 and add this custom object. Of course I delete the chain to get better view, and see cool stuff you can do with it. Something like this. Apply scale and rotation if you need it. And that's it. Oh, multi-user. This is some other small issue, but don't worry. We can just easily apply it and remove this part if you don't need it. But you see, if I want a rope, just do this, Alt G, and here we are. We have a great result. If this is too thick, I can just scale down, and hit apply rotational scale again. So it will apply this size, and now you can do what you ever like with the objects or curves, what you want. Of course you can just play here and extrude it by yourself, shade smooth, play around with the curve, fix some issue points. And if you like this, here we have an issue. I take here something like this. There is issue, but it's not a big problem right now. It's because of the offset we have turned on. We cannot easily do this and play around. It's all open to you, what you want. We go again and just start wrapping. I just start wrapping. I click, draw the lines I need, and perhaps, of course, it's possible to get some issues, but understand this is in beta status. We can fix all and just see what happened now. The scaling, of course, something like this. The offset if we want, yes. And let's see what happened. Perhaps the object offset is too much for this scale. I just turn it down. And of course we have here this distance we can play around with and check how this affects. Yes, it's much better. Okay, we can play again with the width, with the thickness, like something like this. Thickness a bit more. Here we see some issues, but think about it. How much time you would spend to create a wrapped around mesh? This is not the best result at the moment, but think about it. It will take a lot of time to create wrapping stuff like here. Of course there are other workflows, but just check this. It's very interesting and it's fun to play with. For example, I like this. I shorten up the endings. Just go something like this, and want to hit here enduring. Of course we can go here, toggle X-ray, go something. If you want, you can add more smooth modifiers to get specific results, but just play around, think what you can do with this add-on. What I showed is only for characters at the moment. We can do much more stuff with this. Yes, very fast, very great results. Some fixed points are here we can do by hand, and that's it. At this point it's not that great, but it's okay. I hope you like this little video about my new add-on, and I think there are so many creative people who can use it in a very great way. Thank you very much.